Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this lesson. Today I am going to discuss Merchant of Venice, Act-3, Scene-2, written by William Shakespeare, which takes place at Belmont, a room in Portia's house. So here I begin. And before that, let me ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? If you haven't subscribed up till now, then please do and watch the video till end and press the like button if you have liked it. So now let us start Act 3 Scene 2. This is the second largest scene, so I have divided it into 3 parts. This is Act 3 Scene 2 Part 1. This is the toughest scene as there are quite a few very difficult speeches of Portia and Bassanio. And since it is very big, so I won't be able to finish it in one video. So I have divided it into 3 parts so that you can understand each line very well. This is a very important scene. The 2 casket scene have already been done. Gold casket in Act 2 Scene 7 and the silver one in Act 2 Scene 9. And we know what is happening, though Bassanio does not know in which casket is the portrait of Portia, and the audience have already come to know. So the scene takes place at Belmont, a hall in Portia's house. The curtain is drawn back and the caskets are seen. In the gallery, the musicians are waiting. Bassanio, Portia, Graciano, Nerissa and the attendants. So Bassanio has come here with Graciano, his friend, and Portia's speech is a very big one. She is really very happy that Bassanio has come, but there is a lingering fear in her. What if he is not able to choose the right casket? Then according to the conditions, he will have to take leave from Belmont immediately. Portia, I pray you tarry, pause a day or 2 before you hazard, for in choosing wrong, I lose your company. Therefore, bear a while. There is something tells me, but it is not love. I would not lose you, and you know yourself. Hate conceals not in such a quality. So just see, Portia is so modest. So she tells that I am just requesting you. I am just begging of you. Please wait a little and at least wait for a day or 2 before you make your choice. Here, hazard means choice because if you choose wrong, then I will lose your company. So please wait a little. And then she says that there is something which tells me that I am not going to lose you. No, it is not love. And then she again tells that hate does not give this type of advice. But lest you should not understand me well, and yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought. But in case you don't understand me correctly, in case you misunderstand me, and yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought. So in case you understand me wrong, because a maiden should not speak her thought, so had no tongue but thought. She may have the thoughts in her mind. So she have a thought of love for Bassanio, but she cannot speak it out in those days and not in today's world. In today's world, they go and speak out, I love you. So in those days, Shakespearean times, 400 years ago. But in case you misunderstand me, for a maiden has no choice but to think things which should not be expressed. I would detain you here some month or 2 before you venture for me. So Portia wishes that she should detain him, that is Bassanio, for at least a month or two before he went to choose the right casket, because she feels that if he chooses the right casket, then it will be well and fine. We will get married, but suppose he chooses the wrong casket, then we will have to leave Belmont and go immediately. In that case, it at least she will live on the memories of these 2 months. So that is why she says, I could teach you how to choose the right, but then I am forsworn. So she says that she could teach me to choose the right casket, but then in that case she would have broken her oath, as her father has made her promise not to reveal the secret of the casket to anyone. So will I never be, so may you miss me. So she could tell the right one, and since she has taken the oath, and telling the right casket would be breaking the oath, and she cannot do that, and in that way Bassanio may miss her by choosing the wrong casket. So I will never tell you, and you may lose me. But if you lose me, you will make a wish that I had broken my oath and committed sin. But if you do, you will make me wish a sin that I had been forsworn. But if you choose the wrong casket, you will make me wish a sin that why didn't I break a promise, and thinking is also a sin, that why didn't I break my promise. Should I break my promise and show Bassanio the right casket? Beshrew your eyes, they have overlooked me and divided me. One half of me is yours, and the other half yours, mine own, I would say, but if mine, then yours, and so all yours. So Portia is a very modest woman. She could have very nicely said that, Bassanio, I am yours. That, no, she is quite shy in that way. So she says that, may curse fall on your eyes. Don't take it seriously, she says. May evil fall on your eyes, as they have cast a spell on me, a charm on me, and they have divided me, as one half of me is yours, and the other half, which is mine own. So if it is mine own, then also it is yours, because I am yours. So in that case, I am completely yours. So these charms have splitted my personality. Oh, these naughty times put bars between the owners and their rights, and so though yours, but not yours. And she is cursing the time and calling these times as bad times, because they have put obstacles on the way, the owner and their possessions, and things means I am yours, Bassanio, but the naughty times have put an obstacles in yours possessing me, till you choose the right casket and get me. So though I am yours, but still I am not yours. You can only get me by selecting the right casket. Therefore, I am yours. Get me by selecting the right casket. I'll be yours, because I love you. Still I am not yet yours till you win me. Prove it so. Let fortune go to hell for it, not I. I speak too long, but it's to precise the time, to evade it and to draw it out in strength, in length, to stay you from election. So if you cannot prove that I am yours, then let fortune be damned for it. Not I means, if it proves that I cannot be yours, then let the fortune be cursed for causing it, not I. Then she realizes that she has given a very long speech. So she says that I speak too long, but it is to precise the time, to make delay, to retard time, and prolong it to the fullest extent to hold you back from choosing the casket. So, this speech is only to stretch the time and to prolong it as much as I can, only to stop you from making the choice. Actually, she is frightened. What if he chooses the wrong casket? So, Bassanio cannot wait. He is in a state of torture. He wants to know what fate has in store for him. Will he get Portia or not? So he says, Bassanio, let me choose, for I live upon the rack. So he feels that he is in a state of torture. In those days, a person was put on the rack and then he was tortured. So he feels that he is on the rack. Portia, upon the rack, Bassanio, then confess what treason there is mingled with your love. Then confess what treason there. So Bassanio, if you feel that you are on the track, then there must be something treacherous mingled with your love. What is it? Bassanio, none but that ugly treason or mistrust, which makes me feared of enjoying of my love. There may as well be amity and life between the snow and fire as treason and my love. So Bassanio says, no, there is no treachery mingled in my love. Only there is a feeling of doubt. And it is this doubt that will I be able to select the right casket. It is this doubt which stops me from enjoying my love. Why, as Portia has confessed her love and he cannot enjoy because he is doubtful whether he will be able to select the right casket and get her. So then he says, as there cannot be friendship between snow and fire, in the same way, my love and treason also cannot be friends. Portia, but I fear you speak upon the rack, where men enforced do speak anything. So Portia, she is deliberately stretching the conversation. So she is telling, yes, I have said that there can be no friendship between your love and treachery. But I think you said that you are upon the rack. And when a person is put upon the rack and tortured, so he can say anything. Bassanio, promise me life, and I will confess the truth. So, if you promise to give me my life, I will tell you the truth. Portia, well then, confess and live. So Portia says, okay, confess what is in your mind, and I will spare you your life. This is just a light talk between Bassanio and Portia. So what does Bassanio says? Bassanio, confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. So what I wanted to confess, the summary of my confession is that I love you. O happy torment, when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance, but let me to the fortune and the caskets. So Bassanio says that this torture is a happy torture. It is not a cruel torture. Why? Because the person who is torturing me only, she is teaching me the answer just to free myself from the torture. But anyhow, take me to the casket, and I want to make the choice of my casket to try my fortune, my luck. Portia, away then. I am locked in one of them. So she says the 3 caskets. So she shows the 3 caskets and says that, go then, my portrait is locked up in one of the 3 caskets, that is, in one of them. If you do love me, you will find me out. Yes, if you really love me, you will find me out. What did the other 2 suitors do? More than the inscription They concentrated on the outward appearance, and that is why they failed. You will see that Bassanio will concentrate more on what is written on it and not on the outer appearance. And then she tells Bassanio that God will help you to choose the right casket. Nerissa and the rest stand all aloof. So Nerissa and the other servants stands at a distance. Let music sound while he doth make his choice. This speech is important again. So while Bassanio is making his choice, let music be played. Then, if he loses, he makes a swan lichen. So if Bassanio loses, he will leave Belmont like a swan. So what does swan lichen means? That means it was believed in those days that the swan sings only once, and that is before its death, and then it dies and its body goes and rests in the bottom of the lake or pond or whatever. It is so. If Bassanio loses, he will have to leave Belmont and go. So he will leave Belmont and the music will be played. So this will be like a swan. Why? Because it will be Bassanio's death for Portia, because she won't see him again. Fading in music. So music will be played and slowly Bassanio will fade from her vision and out of Belmont as the swan makes its exit. That the comparison may stand more proper. My eye shall be the stream and watery deathbed for him. To make the comparison more appropriate, Bassanio and the swan, to make it more appropriate, Portia says that her eyes will be the stream. Why? Because when Bassanio leaves and goes, Portia's eyes will be full of tears. So they will be as if they are the watery bed, because in her eyes will be the reflection of Bassanio. So her eyes full of tear will be the stream. Where Bassanio's reflection dies its death, or Bassanio dies its death, and she won't see him again once he goes away from Belmont. He may win. So this is if he loses. But there is one more possibility, and that is he may win. Then, and what is the music then? Then the music is even as the flourish when the true subjects bow to a new crowned monarch. Such it is as are those dulcet sound in break of day that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear and summons him to marriage. See, two types of music. One is that the music which takes place at the coronation of a new king, which when a new king is crowned and a loyal subject bow before him, the music which is played, that music will be played. Why? Because it is justified, as if Bassanio chooses the right casket. He will become the lord of Portia, as well as everything she possesses. So he will be the new crown master of this place. And not only that, and another one that is also very appropriate, that those sweet sounds which are played in the morning to wake up a bridegroom from his sleep on his marriage day. Suppose a bridegroom is sleeping and a music is played on his marriage day to wake him up. That sweet music will be played in that is also appropriate, because if Bassanio chooses the right casket, he will be married to Portia. So he will be the bridegroom. Now he goes with no less presence, but with much more love than young Alcides. Some pronounce as Alcides and some as Alcides. Actually, it is another name for Hercules, the strongest man at that time. Now Bassanio goes with much more dignity and with much more love than Hercules. When he redeemed the virgin tribute paid by how long paid by howling Troy to the sea monster. So there goes a story that the princess of Troy called Hesione. So there goes a story that the princess of Troy called Hesione, she was to be sacrificed to the sea monster to save the Troy, and at that time Hercules had come to ask her, a king of Troy, a favor. And when he saw that the Troy was very sad, and when he got to know the reason, he proposed to kill the sea monster, in return for which the king of Troy would help him in his work. So it was agreed, and then Hercules went to fight the sea monster. So Hesione was watching him with a lot of anxiety. Why? Because her life was all dependent on upon Hercules. If Hercules lived, that means the sea monster would be dead. And if Hercules lived, then Hesione would live. So here Portia is also waiting with equal anxiety for Bassanio to go and choose the casket. We can say that the caskets are as if the sea monster, and Bassanio is going to fight them, and if he chooses the right casket, he will save Portia from an unhappy marriage. I stand for sacrifice, the rest aloof are Dardanian wives, with bleared visages, come forth to view the issue of the exploit. Go, Hercules, live thou, I live, with much, much more dismay. I view the fight than thou that makest the fray. So Portia is telling that I am like Hesione, and I stand for sacrifice, and the others who are standing far away are the Dardanian wives. Dardanian wives means chosen women. So when this exploit was taken place, when this fight was taking place, the women of Troy was very fond of their princess Hesione. They were watching with their tears stained faces. Bleared visages means tears stained faces. They were watching the issue of the exploit, that is the result of this fight. So who are the Dardanian wives referred to here? Nerissa and others, who are waiting at the distance watching which casket Bassanio is going to choose. Go, Hercules, live thou. I live means if you live, then I live. And if Bassanio chooses the wrong casket, it will also be his death, because he will have to leave Belmont and go. So if he chooses the right casket, he will be alive for Portia. With much, much more dismay, I view the fight means I am watching your choice in a much more anxiety than you who is going to choose. So Portia is anxiously waiting Bassanio choosing the casket, and while Bassanio is choosing the casket, a song is played. Tell me, where is fancy bred, or in the heart or in the head? How begot, how nourished? Reply, reply, it is engined, red in the eyes, with grazing feet and fancied eyes. In the cradle where it lies, let us all ring fancy's knell. I'll begin it, ding dong bell, ding dong bell. So the just is, where is love born? Is it born in the head or in the heart? And how is the love born? What is its origin and how is it nourished? How does it flourish? And then it is said that when a person sees something, only then the love generates. So it is born in the eyes, it is brought up and nourished with the loving glances of the lover, and it dies also in the eyes of the lover. So, where it was born, it dies there only. Its death, let us ring the knell. So, knell is a funeral bell. So, let us ring the funeral bell for love, and I will begin with the ding dong bell. So, some critics says that through this song, hint is given that head and bread are rhyming with lead. No, I don't think so, because critics they say not the everyone. Some of the critics says not everyone, because Portia, in spite of knowing that Bassanio chooses the wrong casket, he will have to leave and go. She does not break her promise. She had made with to her father. She is a dutiful daughter, and she wouldn't give a song where there is a hint. So Bassanio's speech is very important, which I will continue in my second video, because that is a very important speech, and I don't want to club it with this one. So continue watching in my next video. So dear children, with these words I end my this video of Act 3 Scene 2 Part 1 here, and I wish you all a happy time. It's your examination time. Study hard and come out with flying colors. My best wishes are with you. Do like, share and subscribe with your friends. Thank you.